We have officially reached the halfway point in the NASCAR season, so we're going to do a little report. We're going to talk about what's happened so far, some of the surprises, some of the expecteds, and really just talk about what's happened this first half of the season. So, yeah, let's just get into it. So, your current point standings, these guys are all in the playoffs. As of now, there's still 8 races to go until that playoff cutoff. But right now, it's Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch, Alex Bowman, Eric Almirola, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Larson, Clint Boyer, and here's a little bit of a surpriser, Ryan Newman holds that final spot by 3 points. But your winners this year are Joey Logano. He has 2 wins. Kyle Busch has 4 wins. Brad Keselowski has 3 wins. Martin Truex Jr. has 4 wins. Denny Hamlin has 2 wins. Chase Elliott has 1 win. Alex Bowman has 1 win. And Justin Haley has 1 win. So those are your winners in the 2019 NASCAR Cup Series in 2019. Did I say 2019 already? I feel like I'm being repetitive. Anyways, no big surprise that Joey Logano, defending his championship, is doing well this year. He has a couple wins, as I said. He is first in points. He has 7 stage wins, which I believe is the most in the series. Yeah, that's the most in the series. So he's having a really good year. He currently holds an 18-point lead over the driver to the 18, Kyle Busch. So he's having a pretty good year. 9 top 5s, 12 top 10s. He continues to defend his championship. As for the most wins this season, it is a tie between Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch. The Joe Gibbs Racing drivers have a nice little rivalry going, but it's a fun rivalry. It's good for them. They don't hate each other or anything. They're just teammates trying to do the best they can, and they're just competing for wins. So Joe Gibbs Racing has had a very good year. 10 wins on the season, 4 from Busch, 4 from Truex, and 2 from Hamlin. The only driver not to win for Joe Gibbs Racing is Eric Jones, who sits out of the playoffs by a few points. He sits, how many points out? 13 points out, I believe. So, yeah. But Joe Gibbs Racing, Team Kempinski, they've pretty much crushed it this year. They have 15 of the 18 wins this year. The other 3 wins, as I said earlier, Bowman, Elliott, Haley. We'll get to that in a little bit. So they've been dominating this year. My championship pick was Brad Keselowski. He is still up there contending. He's still doing pretty dang good, racking up some playoff points. So good for him. That's my championship pick, so that's still doing good. As for other things in my predictions that were very wrong, I said Kurt Busch wouldn't make the playoffs. He has surprised me, at least. I did not think he would do good in that one car. I thought he would do better than Jamie McMurray, but I did not think he would make the playoffs. He is currently very in the playoffs. He's got like an 80-point. He might even have a 100-point gap. Let's see. Newman's at 257 behind. Oh, yeah, he's got a 120-point gap. So he's got a big gap there to miss the playoffs. So he's basically in. It's going to take chaos for him to miss, but he's had a very impressive year. He's been contending for wins. He's been running up front, being consistent. So he's done very well this year. I made a video about him earlier in the year about how he has done very well and how he's one of the most underrated drivers in the series. You can go check that out. I'll probably put it up here later. But yeah, so he's doing very good this year. He's definitely been a surprise to me personally. Another surprise, Hendrick Motorsports, they started off with a struggle again. Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, William Byron, they all struggled. And right now, they're all 4 in the playoffs. 2 of them are locked into the playoffs, and the other 2 are slowly climbing up in points and starting to build a little bit of a gap between them and that 16th spot for the playoffs, or the 17th spot. So they've drastically improved since, I'd say, Martinsville. They got their first top 5 of the season, and then the next week they got another top 5 out of Jimmy Johnson. At Texas, and Johnson, that was one of his best races of the year. He led over 60 laps. He won the pole that weekend. So they've been doing pretty dang good this year compared to where they were at this point last year. They have 2 wins right now from Elliott and Bowman. But, they've drastically improved, as I said, with the wins. I was going to look at something else. But Johnson is starting to improve. He's starting to get better. He's got a streak of top fives right now, and then William Byron had a nice little streak of top tens. He got his best career finish last week, second. So they're both doing good, sit 12th and 13th in the standings with a nice 30-plus gap on 17th, or Johnson at least. Oh, Johnson almost has a 40, and then Byron has almost a 50. Or I can't do math. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is a massive surprise. Stewart Haas Racing has yet to win this year. That's right, 0 wins. 0. Spire Motorsports, who basically got invented in the offseason, has more wins than them this season. Justin Haley, congratulations. But yeah, Stewart Haas, it's not like they've struggled. Kevin Harvick's third in the standings. But after that, yeah, they're kind of struggling. Eric Almirola's 10th in the standings, which isn't bad. Boyer last year, remember, he was a contender. He was running really well last year. He's barely in the playoffs. Suarez is out by a few points. So they're not where they were last year. They're not Kevin Harvick winning 7 races by this point last year, however many wins he had. They're not Clint Boyer with a couple wins by this point this year. They're not running in that well. I can't say they've improved, but they've slowly progressed, I'd say. Harvick's still running well. He's still running up front. Suarez surprised me. He's been doing all right this year. I thought he would make the playoffs. That's my call. I'll still stick with it. He's still in that range. Boyer's been a bit of a disappointment this year. I thought he would have won by this point. But other than that, I mean, Almirola's been racking up top 10s. He's only got 1 top 5 on the year. But, yeah, a little bit of a struggle for them. Which leads me to my next point. Justin Haley. He got himself a win. You may be asking, why is he not in the playoffs? He got himself a win. He has an Xfinity point, so he cannot be in the playoffs. But big congratulations to him. That's a big deal for him. People are hating on him because they strategized correct and stayed out. As he said, they had nothing to lose, so why not stay out? So they did, and they won. It sucks for Kurt Busch, don't get me wrong, but should have stayed out. I would have stayed out probably. I don't care what the situation is. If it looks like it's going to rain any minute, I'm not expecting 33 laps of green flag racing or whatever. But, yeah, definitely a shocker. But congratulations to him. Manufacturers, Toyota, they got the Camry. They're still winning in the Camry. Ford's new Mustang, it did not do what the Camaro did last year. Remember, the Camaro struggled. It won the first race of the season, and it took all the way until August to win its second race of the season. And this year, their first win was at Talladega with Chase Elliott, and right now they are on a 2-race win streak with Alex Bowman and Justin Haley, 2 first-time winners. The first time back-to-back winners have happened since 2007 with, I don't know who, but I read it somewhere. So that's a big deal for Chevy. They've improved drastically. Chase Elliott's racked up some top 5s. He's got 6 top 5s on the year, 7 top 10s. Alex Bowman's got his first career win, 4 top 5s, 6 top 10s. Kurt Busch has been racking in top 10s. He's got 4 top 5s along with 10 top 10s. And then William Byron, as we said, he's got his first career top 5 last week, and he also has 6 top 10s. Jimmy Johnson, 3 top 5s, 8 top 10s. And then Kyle Larson, who's had a rough start to the season, still having a little bit of bad luck, but he has climbed into the playoffs, and he has 2 top 5s and 6 top 10s. So, that is your Chevy camp right now. And as for Ford, as I said, the Mustangs, they're doing pretty good. They lead the points. They have 3 of the top 5 spots in the standings. They got 5 wins. And then as for Toyota, they have the most wins. They have 10. So, yeah. But that's I think that's it. We got an interesting schedule coming up here. Looking forward. This week we go to Kentucky, where Truex has dominated. He's won every stage at Kentucky, and since the stages were invented. But we got Kentucky, New Hampshire, Pocono, Watkins Glen, Michigan, Bristol, Darlington, and then Indy, and then the playoffs start. I'll give a quick prediction, I guess. Kentucky, who's going to win? Yeah, that's for this week. New Hampshire, Truex. Pocono, Logano. Watkins Glen. Well, let's go with Elliott. Elliott back-to-back. Michigan. Let's go with Keselowski. Bristol. Bristol Night Race, we'll go with Larson. Darlington. This is a long way thinking out. Darlington, we'll go with Truex. And then Indy. I don't know. This is hard. Busch, Kyle Busch. I don't know. Those are all just guesses at this point. Once we get down the road, I'll do those race previews and stuff, but that's just a long-term prediction. Do I want to change anything from my preseason predictions? There's a lot I would change. I can't remember everything. I would like to put Kurt Busch in the playoffs. That was my biggest mistake. As for my championship pick, I'm going to keep that locked. Keselowski's been killing it this year. He's high in the points. He's got a few wins. He's got some playoff points, so I like him still. So I'm going to keep him as a lock for my championship pick. As for everything else, I can't remember. I remember I think I had all 4 Hendrick cars in. I think I had all 4 Gibbs cars. I think I had all 4 Stewart-Haas cars, so that's 12 of the spots. Oh, I did have Paul Menard winning Daytona. I remember that. So after Daytona, Paul Menard hasn't won. I'd like to change that. Put Kurt Busch in for Paul Menard, guys. But obviously, I'm not ever going to get anything perfect. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Comment what you think is going to happen in the second half of the season. Who's going to make the playoffs? Who's going to miss the playoffs? Tell me your championship predictions. Tell me who you think will surprise us the second half of the season if someone blows up. Just starts racking off wins, top 5s, leading laps. Just anything like that. We've seen hot streaks happen. Example, I don't know. Last year, Chase Elliott got on a hot streak. That was nice. But let me know what you guys think is going to happen the rest of this season. I'm very interested. I'm very excited for the second half of the season. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed it. If you liked it, leave it a big fat like. If you would like to subscribe, click on the face. I'll put a couple videos up here so you guys can see it.